Guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to discuss about manufacturing and one of the main method, which is casting. There are many ways you can manufacture, but today we are going to concentrate on only casting. We have also molding, forging, right? So what is casting and molding? Let's cover those two. Now, casting will typically involve metal, right, while molding focuses on plastics. In both cases, the melted material goes into a die. That's the original, design die, the shape of something. That's how I get it. All mold to create the final form. However, some other key differences in the processes will change the final product. In molding, the material is injected into a form typically made of metal. Now let's go to casting. Yeah, what is casting? Casting is but one method of metal shaping, right? As there are many other options including welding. Now this is what I was telling you. There's welding, there's forging, there's stamping, there's extrusion, and machining. Okay. Now, before settling on casting, you should first understand the benefits. What you want to do, what type of thing you want to do. Yeah, the process involved. Provided over these other techniques, you can compare which one you want to use of these methods, like forging, stamping, extrusion, machining, welding, or casting. So I said we're talking about casting, so let's go on. So ability to create complex geometries. Liquid metals facilitates construction of intricate designs in either simple. Now this is about casting, how it can help you achieve this. You make intricate designs in either simple or complex geometries, which otherwise you'll have to use a lot of energy and design work to do it, but casting is easily achieved. Now I'm discussing what really casting does. First, production cycles. Once the casting tools are in order, very little maintenance and downtime is necessary. This makes casting an option for mass production. So casting is such a good thing. And how about the workability of hard metals? It makes it easy to work on them. Casting is often one of the only viable manufacturing process for hard metals that are not malleable enough for solid state shaping. Like for example, when you're machining something, now reduced assembly of time, there's not much that you need to put there to do casting, like many tools that you need to do that. So oftentimes casting can create items in single complete component, eliminating the need to assemble multiple pieces to do it. So what are the steps involved? Now, while each casting method creates its unique challenges, of course, anything you want to do, there are logistics, challenges involved. Now, casting is one of them. Also, it has its own challenges, like enhancement or techniques to retain the same shape that you want, same basic steps. While each casting method creates unique challenges and process enhancements, all techniques retain the same basic. They have all the same basic. There's something common in all these four techniques that I told you: welding, stamping, extrusion, and machining. There is something which is basically common with them. One of them is pattern making. What you want to do: core making, molding, melting and pouring, and finishing. Yes, those are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps. Now, to create a casting mold. Now this is about mold. A manufacturer must first design a physical model. The process of fabricating this mold is called pattern making. The first thing I told you, using computer-aided designs like CAD. You have to design it in the computer systems. The manufacturer designs dimensions and geometry of a mold, what you want to do. and then packs on aggregate materials such as sand. Now, like when you're doing casting, of course, you use sand like clay bentonite in a foundry, concrete or plastics around the pattern. When the pattern is removed, the mold cavity in the sand can be filled. So you create this mold cavity in the sand. And there's another one called core making. Many parts design require the inclusion of cores in the casting mold, something called cores. Cores are solid material placed inside the mold cavity to create the interior surfaces of a casting. For example, a metal pipe fitting will require a cylindrical core inside the mold cavity to create the hollow construction of the component's interior. Like when you're doing the casting for a pipe, then this thing is required. It's called, for example, core making, right? So let's go on. Molding. At this point, the manufacturer can create the casting mold of materials such as, say, sand, plaster, or wax is used. The expendable mold casting, whereas metal and other durable materials are used in non-expendable mold casting technique. The material fills the casting mold model and is allowed to harden, at which point the manufacturer removes it from the cavity, and the casting of the component can now begin. Melting and pouring. Then that's the final step, I think, and the finishing. Metal must be properly melted prior to being placed in the mold. Typically, this is done by using what is known as crucible. Crucibles are in containers made of porcelain or another melt-resistant substance, in which a manufacturer can heat a metal beyond its melting point. Once properly melted, the molten metal is poured into the casting mold to cool and harden. You've seen this. If you heat the metal to a certain degree, it will melt, it becomes like a liquid. So you pour it inside the mold and it will harden and become what the shape already you have designed it to the computer. Sorry guys, let me take water. It's crazy. I have to take water. So I get the problem. When I talk continuously, I get this problem. Let's go again. Metal must be properly melted prior to being placed in the mold. Typically, this is done by using what is known as crucible. The crucibles are containers made of porcelain or another melt-resistant substance, in which a manufacturer can heat a metal beyond its melting point. Once properly melted, the molten metal is then poured into the casting mold to cool and harden. Okay, now finishing. Because metals can sometimes fill in cracks in casting mold or spruce, the pouring channel for the mold, manufacturers must often finish the metal following casting. This can be accomplished through a variety of finishing techniques, including sanding, grinding, and puffing. You've seen puffing. What is puffing? Maybe you have to refer that. You Google out what's puffing, you don't know. Once proper appearance and surface texture has been achieved, further post-treatment processes such as painting or electroplating may be necessary for some application. So this is about casting. I don't know whether you know this, so I have to draw something to show you what is casting. You can understand the name. It means you cast. Sorry. You have to cast something like your shadow cast. Okay? You. So you see your shadow. When you stand against the sun, you see you in the shadow, in your shadow. That is a form of casting. The sun casts you. And let me try to draw something. I don't know whether it will make sense. but let me try. It's no problem to try. There's no problem to try. I'm trying to make a container. I don't know whether it looks better. Okay, that this is a container, and then you have the top. Let me color it. Maybe it will look better when I color it. To at least get a sense of what I'm trying to show you. I'm trying to show you something here very important. You know, assuming this is a thing now, let's divide it into two. Let's divide it into two. There's the top, the bottom, and they're gonna fit together. So let's also assume that the top is also, let's color the top also. Right, and the top is also colored. Now these are two pieces together. It's a top piece, and this is the bottom. I'm going to show you in a minute. Bottom piece. So you have the top and the bottom. Now inside here is where you pour the sand, like in the bottom here. Pour the sand here, and then you do the mold. Put the whatever thing that you want to mold inside, put on the sand, yeah, and put this thing, then you just step on it. I'm not sure whether this is not but I just have an idea that this is what casting looks like. Yeah, if you put the sand there, of course you have to put it in a container. You're not going to just put it on the surface unless you dig a hole. And then first of all you do the design work, you know what you want. I think the other way around is that you get the object itself and put it inside the sand here, like a clay bentonite, whatever that is used to do the molding. It's used to do the design. And then you stamp on the sand, and you create the holes there, right, like this on both sides. And then you remove it to create the shape that you want. Once that shape is created, the next thing is now to melt the metal. It's that done in a foundry crucible, and then once it's burned, then you have to pour it down. So I don't have the drawing that I can demonstrate this to you, and I'm sorry that it will take time for this thing to show. Let me try to see whether I can show you this, what I'm talking about. Sure. Just hold on, guys. Of casting. Mold. I don't know whether the show even is not coming clear. I'm trying to show you this, but my tablet is very slow. It's gonna take ages to show this. you yourself can Google this one out. I'm trying to show you this picture. Yeah, it looks like this. You can see the metal that is being poured into those holes. These are different. This is like it's using sand or something. Come on, it's gone out. You get the idea. Now it's showing me more and more. This wood is crazy. Yeah. Let me repeat it again. Let me see one that is very clear. Show you. Because I can't draw it. This one is not very clear also. This is I think industrial scale. I'm trying to see something very simple. Oh, let me do this. Let's see this one. This is also very complex, but I think the first option is best. This is showing the metal which is being poured into a mold. That's a metal there which has been melted and a crucible is being poured into these holes, and where the casting is done already, it has been created. Sorry guys, I can't do better than that. And yeah, so the drawings that I made here is one a very illustrative thing. It's like, for example, let's say this is sand. This is sand, silicon sand you get from the sea, whatever, and then quite a heap of it. Oh, come on. And we're going to create pour metal liquid. Yeah, pour metal liquid from this point. So now here you have created a mold. So you're pouring this metal here, inside here, and there is a cavity here of the mold that you made, whether metal, whatever thing you made here, just a cast. So this metal is gonna fill here, and then you cover it, then you let it solidify, then you remove it will make the mold. So in the future lesson, I think I'll be able to draw very nice drawings and show you this, what I mean. But casting is one of the methods that we use in manufacturing, and it's very common and it's easy to use. But the others, like when you do metallized, like machining something to the shape that it's supposed to be, like for example when you create a crankshaft and you machine it, right? Or there's forging, welding, you must have seen this, but casting something a bit out of the way, unless you're manufacturing, you may have not seen it, but that's what it looks like. So guys, I think I'll have to stop it here, and we'll go proceed on this subject and give more points into it, on especially the drawings. Especially I'll show the next video, show you the typical drawings of a casting. Then we progress to other methods as well of manufacturing. So for today, I just have to end it there. Thanks for watching. Please stay tuned and subscribe to my channel again. Bye, see you again.